Hi.
Welcome back. I didn't get cued in that time, but it's okay. I should have been paying attention. I know the run of show. We know the run of show in this map because it's actually going to go to Cobblestone, and it's been close on both 16-14, double overtime on Dust. Both times ENCE had leads, and both times failed to close it out in regulation, at least.
At least they got it to the third map. Everything's been reset now. It goes to Cobble. They did lose a nuke in horrible start to say, winning 12-3 on nuke on the T side. Dropping that map was a bit of a blunder. They could have been 2-0 up right now, and that would have been it. But we do move to Cobble, which is quite an exciting prospect. I'm interested to see how this one pans out for them.
I mean, it's execution-based. We say, look, there's a pretty standard routine that everyone plays. The meta is fairly similar. We saw yesterday as well there was some issues on a number of teams trying to get too aggressive on it, trying to play the pick strategy rather than the smokes. And the double op setup can really be powerful on this map. We know both teams are capable of running it, but which one's going to get the economy working on the CT side in their favor to do so? I think that could be a big differentiating factor. Started out, though, it's ENCE that's going to be on CT, so it's going to be their job to build it up first.
Well, here we go then. And starting on the CT side, 4 sets of armor for them. Nasu with that smoke grenade as well. It's going to be Epsilon with 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes, so more methodical execution-based play here. Both those smokes do go towards the B side. I think they're both towards connector as well, and they're going to be facing in towards drop down here potentially. Actually going towards the A side for connector.
Trying to wrap back. Nasu gets taken down. That'll allow the possibility of doing so. Zarda, he's just going to fire inside of that smoke toward the door and a chance of at least damaging them. And if they wrap back, maybe catching them off. As Zealous is going to get Alu. There was decent damage done onto Draken, but unfortunately they haven't converted that, and he's the one that's going to play bait, sit back, wait for rotations, and okay, goes down, that's fine. He realized that they're there. Better still, gets a kill potentially. As Zarda's going to make a lot of noise if possible, but the shoulder spotted. Brings it to within 1. Bomb planted, no kits is the bigger problem in all of this. Rez going to take down Zarda. I dare say this one's almost a foregone conclusion at this point in time. Now it certainly is as Rez picks up a second on the Tech 9. And we'll go 1-0 for Epsilon.
I like that strategy a lot, you know, from Epsilon. That's quite a nice one. They had one waiting towards long A. They did a smoke on the left-hand side of drop-down room, one towards connector as well. Made those rotations really difficult for the CT players that are waiting in towards B. 4 into drop-down, just swarm the players inside there, find that first pick, and they're going up towards A. And like I said, that smoking connector is so powerful because the CT's only ever going to have one player in that position tops, and then as soon as that's happening, you've got the player and long A facing as well. It's really confusing for the CTs, and that's actually very effective indeed. We do go into round number 2 now. There's going to be 3 SMGs for Epsilon, 2 AKs as well. Semi-force buy from ENCE. You can see 2 players, Nasu and Yuho, not actually going with the body armor here. Interesting enough, though, Alu has, and we're expecting him to be on the orb, of course, so that is limiting himself slightly going into this one. He only has $200 remaining, so if they were to lose this, it's going to be very difficult for them to have anything much more than a glass cannon in the first gun round.
Draken. B waiting at long B. Yuho against him. The Deagle. Flashback toward the statue. Sunny is the one to come up close immediately afterwards. Still 2 players waiting inside of the courtyard out at long A as well, because if they push through all the way from the CT side, then I don't want to give away that information and possibility. And not only that, they need to figure out if it is a stack. Already they're starting to consider the alternative and head back toward the A site. They'll let Draken get at least 1 kill, but that's not going to deter them any further from going on to A. And he's just trying to keep them there with smokes and flashes. Zelos should figure this out pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, well, that's the A-bomb, so I can play the open now. For Epsilon, bomb will be planted. The CTs might as well save their upgraded weaponry here and the body armor as well. You can see Zati actually invested in head armor, so definitely want to be saving that. Not going to be any opportunities to get much out of this. Draken is still towards drop that as well. You might hear some footsteps of rotating CD players. Not meant to be, but they will be finding another UMP there as well, so chop it up to the teammates. And like I said, keep the armor intact, taking it to the next round.
Friday just going to watch flank. Interestingly enough, Alu with that UMP, not going to lead off any charge here, and it's going to be Yuho Deagle all the way back toward Rapunzel. They'll just wait. Keep what they can. CT side, you can't really afford much on the first gun in terms of utility if you overbuy in the first 3, so...
It's also a good idea to get that gun to Alu, you know, because obviously we talked about it before, the $600 per kill with the SMG. If he can get a couple of kills at the next round, that's $1,200. So that's definitely the right idea, I think, going forward. So this works out for them. He's got body armor, he's got the UMP, he's also got a Deagle, and he could swap that over to Zart. He's currently got a 5.7, so he probably wants to swap that over, upgrade the pistol. We'll see whether that comes in. It'll then be 4 Deagles, a UMP, and an HE grenade.
Yeah, I mean, if he can pick up a kill, or even 2 here, it'd be massively beneficial. Whereas to lead the charge, AK-47, they've gone for the early rifles on the upgrades of what they did drop down to. UMP still in it for them as well. Draken, the other AWP player, wielding one, so if he builds up kills as well, he can get an early AWP. Justify upgrading to the AWP, perhaps. As Yuho gets tagged up first. Speaking of Alu, he's playing close to the drop with his UMP, waiting for them to walk over, so trying to get it out on an angle where it's favorable for something. Again, though, this stack on the B site, and same setup, it's the same 2. Waiting to see if anything goes on toward A. Zelos and Freddy B. Zelos timing, that works out. Okay, all right, the second one I'm impressed with. I was going to say works out for 1, the Molotov landing at his footsteps. He might have had to back away, but he stays and fights forward. 2 quick deagles, and now suddenly the UMP for Alu becomes more than just money gained. It becomes the anchor in this 2-man advantage as Yuho falls away on 34 HP, but what a start to the round already. And those 2 players that were watching the anchor on A, they now have to go figure out if that site's still available because they have to leave off B. They can't afford to walk into the stack now.
Well, 5 on 3, still a lot of work to do here for the Finnish side. They're going to have to actually overcome the AK-47 in the hand of Freddy B. That certainly helps, though. Nasu gets another headshot with the Desert Eagle. 5 on 2 now. Surely this is the round over. Rez trying to do what he can. He finds 1 kill, but Zart does make it a 4 versus 1. A massive round here for Enz after saving that upgraded weaponry on the second round. It's up to Rez. He has had a fantastic series here so far. Does find the first kill.
First kill indeed. Baits out the bomb plant. AK still in hand, but they're getting so close. Walks out, nearly lines up, and Alu. That SMG will finally pay off, but man, oh man, it's Yuho and Nasu with the deagle to get things rolling.
Absolutely. What a couple of great shots it was from Yuho. From the upper platform, those steps area is getting 2 stellar headshots there. That opens it up and funnels Epsilon back towards the A site. Nasu with another deagle headshot himself. And it's going to put Epsilon in a difficult position now. After they're getting the bomb down, the money's not too bad. You can see Disco Doppler is struggling slightly. He's only got 2,300, but a buy will be coming in either way. 2 AKs, 2 M4s, and a UMP in the hands of the CT. I feel like this is going to go the distance once again, Matt. These guys seem so evenly matched. Orb in the hands of Draken, though. Could amount to something here, as they are holding towards middle for now. It's Freddy B, long A by himself. Zart will be waiting for him. He's got the M4A4 in hand. Incendiary just to spot a pixel of a player. Drop that down, just delay them a little bit further. There it is.
Zarda gonna walk back inside of the site, not overextend. Eventually repeaks it. Now realizes there is company. Smoke out, delay further, not allow them the access, not allow them the vision as well toward the top of the doorway at the connector. Alu instead flashes down to do the same at the bottom of middle on the AK. The loss of Nasu early on, though. And Epsilon having efficiency to build up these guns. It could counter out everything Eds did in the last round as Yuho late Molotov off, and they've got to make this plan established early on exactly how they want to rotate that loose player. Right now it's basically a 2-1 with a swing in the form of Alu. Azarda, he's going to make that more confidently done as he brings it back to 4 versus 4. Now Alu could start to lead off toward B, but he's got to be quicker in doing so because Doppler taking down Yuho, it's got them space, it's got them an opening. It's Sunny's turn to do so from the stairwell. He's got a shot into Zelos, but what a strafe aim, pre-aimed on the corner. And Sunny's head gets torn off early. Bomb's going to go down. And it's the rotations that have to be swift. Drake gets Alu. It's only Zarda with 1 through, and he's going to have to back away 17 HP. He's still committing to this, you know. He still wants to fancy his chances inside of the drop room, and Rez is going to advance forward. His chances of escaping now become limited, not just the retake in a 1-on-3.
Yeah, it's optimistic to try and make this one happen. He does get Zelos down with him, but that's it. Draken does get the AWP kill to actually finish things off there, and it's all down to Epsilon. Getting that first pick, being nice and disciplined, slow place play after that, trying to work kill by kill. There still is money available for Ents, of course. They're going to get the AWP out, make it a double AWP setup. So it'll be Yuho and Alu running with those weapons. 3-1 though in favor of Epsilon. This round would break the economy of Ents. You can see it's a force buy to some extent. Zarts and Nasu just on the pistols there. They're relying heavily on these orbs to actually make something happen. This puts quite a lot of pressure on Alu. On your screen right now, he's actually going for that mid-pick. Not using the smoke at the start, which is normally favored by the CT orbers. Just trying to face anyone crossing towards long A there, but that's the first kill. Disco Doppler goes down. Something to work with here now.
Zarda again going to fall away. Another shot from Alu. Rez fallen, another one as well. Immediately on top of it as Zelos walks in. They get aggressive up the stairwell, or the ramp rather, and Alu's playing a slightly different angle than immediately in the doorway, and they walk right into him. Zarda's got the deagle onto Freddy. It's suddenly down to just Draken. 3-1's about to become 3-2, and ENCE will strike back before letting this slip away. Remember, we mentioned economy. This double op setup is now going to come into play for ENCE time in and time out. And again, they have to stabilize this. We've seen it so many times this weekend that the CTs struggle to get broken mid-half, reset, and never really pull themselves back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Draken now has managed to recover an AWP, so that's going to be all he's going to be trying to save at this moment. Make his way back towards T-spawn and try and hold on for at least 50 seconds here. Going to be a pretty tall order. But Alu stepping up tremendously there. It's Yuho once again who actually got that first kill towards the B side, funneling them back towards A. Alu's just waiting there towards the top of middle. We said there's a lot of pressure on these AWP's shoulders to actually get these kills and deliver. And they're the ones that open it up, get the first 3 kills, and now Epsilon in a difficult position. Next round, they get $1,900, so unless they save his AWP, it's almost certainly going to be an eco. 20 seconds remaining. The CTs don't want to give anything away here. Like you said, they know their money is incredibly important going forward. They're probably aware Draken has the AWP, but so many positions to actually look through and obtain. It's just worth to saving all 5 weapons here and just letting their own bank account swell. You can see they haven't actually got a single kit here as well, so money is in a fantastic position.
This will help, but will it haunt them? Draken's going to have to come up large. Keep an eye on his spawn as well, so it's actually a fairly average spawn. There's not much you can do with it.
It's sort of that NIP mentality we discussed before. When Freck came into the team, you allow players to save weapons like AWPs, and you know they've got low money, to almost tempt them into a force buy and make them feel like they could do this. And this could break their economy further. It's very unlikely they can do it. It's exactly what has happened here. So ENCE just allowing them to keep the AWP. It has forced out a complete buy here from Epsilon. So 3 Tech-9s, a Galil, and that AWP. If ENCE can win this round, which is pretty likely they will, that can mean a double eco going forward for Epsilon.
Study Molotov rather than smoke to delay. But expect more strategic picks, if you will. The turrets on the T side for Epsilon, getting into position, trying to clear angles rather than rushing in Hail Mary style, even with these Tech-9s, because they want the AWPs to open it up, rather the AWP to open it up, and Rez to go to work with the Galil. No one really putting attention on drop just yet, which kind of surprises me with Tech-9s, because usually that's a powerful position to take advantage of.
This is the full wall of smoke tactic coming in. The double AWP setup is rolling. They've seen Yuho, they've seen Alu. This is the tactic I described before earlier in the day. If you can get the wall of smoke down, it makes the AWP less viable, and they need to be reliant on that first shot as the T's execute here. If the smokes go down, it's going to be pretty difficult for them to hold it off, and it looks like the execution is coming in right away.
Smoke down in the back already. Zealous, he's made it through. They haven't spotted the player in the stairwell yet, though. Yuho gets one with the AWP. Now they have Sunny and Yuho both go down. Smokes limiting everyone. Nasu, he's got a gap. It's Cold Zera in reverse on the inside of the statue, but it's not the ace. Let's not get carried away too much just yet as the bomb is planted for Epsilon. 3 versus 3 in Rez. AWP, he's only got 5 HP to work with, but he just needs one quick shot. He's got it as well into Nasu, but Alu, he turns around and finds Draken. And Disco, the last alive, has an M4 platform. Low HP on Alu. Reasonable HP, I should say. And Zarda doesn't care. He's going to go over the top with the AK. And ENCE is going to make it 3-3.
Got a little bit scary there, Epsilon, with that full execution, as I mentioned before. Smoke's going down. You can see how it affected the CTs. They get segregated by the smoke. So it always puts a direct line down the middle of the bomb site. And we'll see whether this is actually going to affect Epsilon going forward. Them getting the bomb down certainly helps the economy. There'll only be a single eco required here. So we'll see how this goes down, but like we said, ENCE pulling through that round is pretty massive for them going forward. This is definitely still a T-sided map. And baiting out that force bite. Let's bring round 7. It's almost guaranteed position for them. Epsilon do have justification to get some body armor with their pistols, but no real smoke to play with, just the 1, actually 2 now, and a flashbang as well.
Sunny. Same play, same position.
Is this the pistol round?
And it's going to be a drop down, though, coming in from in through the connector. And interestingly enough, they've now got the AWP to work with. They've segregated the CTs, and Zarda gets forced back to forward Freddy. These pistols have been upgraded significantly. They've got 3 M4s and an AWP, and Yuho suddenly finds himself on a 1 versus 5 in what was the most desperate buy Epsilon has had yet this half.
Yeah, that's Epsilon actually doing a carbon copy of the pistol round we saw at the beginning of this game, smoking from the drop-down area on the left-hand side, smoking the connector, 4 players down, 1 towards long A, and it works perfectly, just completely locking down the CTs, defending close with those Tech 9s. And it's going to be 1 player remaining, and that is Yo. They know exactly where he is. He finds 2 kills.
They can afford to hunt. I mean,
yeah,
not doing it too much of an extent. If they have to lose 3 players here, all right, maybe they could justify it, but they just got guns for free. They've got to hit ENCE hard in the bank account, and they know for a fact that if they can hunt that down, the AWP gone. CT side, okay, you mentioned letting them keep it off on the T side. That forces him to have to make the play. CT side, you're going to have to encounter it if it's, I mean, especially if it's Alu that has it. He's actually, this is interesting because they don't save it, but look where he goes anyway.
He's gone all in, apparently. So Alu, this is interesting. This could be the beginning of the downfall for ENCE. It's a lot of pressure now towards Alu. The force spike comes in. He's got the AWP. Yuho with the M4A4 in hand. They've upgraded the pistols as well, 3 of those, and some body armor. Nasu, they have much to work with, just a deagle himself. They've got some smokes and flashbangs, but it all comes down to Alu with the AWP. He needs to make something happen here. He goes for that first pick and show his dominance. It's going to be a pretty much full default here from Epsilon. Slowly but surely making their way through long A, and Zati will be waiting for them, but he only has the deagle himself. Needs to be very careful. I'm assuming he's holding a tight angle, which he is, yeah.
Bit curious. Thought they were going to try and go for the run boost, but I was interested in how they were going to set that up. If they're going to try and push him through the arch, it would have been an incredible jump because he'd have to time the apex as well. Zealous goes immediately by. Down in toward danger to clear it. And it's Alu that's got the first shot. Bait and switch potential. They want to lure them in. Cast the bait, pull in the rod, and let Zarda capitalize as they go by.
Well, it started. That first kill comes from Alu. Zarda's still being baited in there. He's got a wall on the corner. I feel like that's a misplay. Had he stayed where he was, he had a lot bigger chance of actually being baited in once again by Alu. Now, they've lost that man advantage, but Yuho gets it back. 4 versus 3 now. Draken low HP as well. They're going to be committed to the A side. 25 seconds remain.
Back in. Backside of Yuho spotted. Can't land shot. It's Freddy that will as he gets forced away from the APC. And Zealous drops bomb off of Alu. 14 seconds to recover and plant just to build up money. For Epsilon, they've got all the position in the world to do so as Nasu on just the deagle. We saw him hit a lovely one shot on this side of the map already once before, but he gets caught this time. And more importantly, Sunny goes down with the M4. It is now Epsilon on 5 rounds, and as we say, the economy goes completely away on that. They'll be in a position where they could justify maybe a pistol or 2, but even then, you want to leave it around 2K as you're only going to have 3 rounds coming in the bonus.
Yeah, that's $2,400. So you can see Zati's got the most money here, $3,300 or so. He could drop an orb over, but it'll still be very limited next round. You're absolutely right. Can't justify even pistols at this point. 5-man stack towards middle and long A. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath here. It's Freddy B opening it up. He gets 3 kills. Ali fighting back, but that's a very quick round indeed. 6-3 here in favor of the terrorists. And we'll see, this is the money I was talking about. So Zart could drop over the orb. He has enough to get armor himself and drop the AWP. I'm assuming that's what will be going down. He's yet to buy still. Actually, he's going in for the M4, so 4 rifles here. Nasu on towards the UMP. It's interesting now, in terms of the meta and the SMGs, we see them, at least a year ago, we're seeing almost all of them use the P90, the MP7, and now it's pretty much predominantly UMP across the board. Sometimes the MAC-10, but for the CT point of view, this is every single round. It's so viable in these gun round situations as well.
Smoking to drop. I know exactly where to place them. Nasu will redress the one at the top of the window. Yuho, regardless, though, is going to start this off for ENCE. Nasu with 2, UMP, but it's Freddy that still wants to try and find Sunny in behind the statue on the site. And he doesn't have a lot of support just yet. They're still way back toward the drop room, but the challenge is just to find the 2 remaining players. Nate will do a significant amount of damage, and the fire, well, take Freddy down to 58, but still, AWP is in possession of Draken and still alive as well. Watch Alu. Does he try and go on this, or does he just wait it out? Does he not overshow too early? He eventually has to, and Sunny instead will get the kill. It will be ENCE coming back with the 4th round, and again, we have to keep an eye on the economy. Now they're going to put themselves in a position where they'll reset 3 rounds. They haven't built up a massive bank just yet. In fact, they won't even be able to get the AWP out. We talked about double AWP. This is not even going to be 1.
Yeah, big round incoming for sure. Epsilon still with a ton of cash as well. Breaking with the AWP in hand. I'd like to see something a little bit more dynamic defense this round. Maybe go for that first pick, a boost towards drop down potentially. Try and get the first kill in their favors. Alu's going towards long A by himself, as Art will be joining him eventually. Freddy beat coming over as well. You can see that crossfire towards long A. It's going to be Alu on towards those hay bells. Zart just bait him in. Zart's not trying to go for the kill here. He's literally just trying to bait Alu in enough. And you can see Alu looking for that wall in case the flashbang comes in. That's the bait. Flash will come in. Will Alu be able to capitalize here?
Starting it off though, Freddy.
That's sloppy.
North goes back out. Alu does get one more. Well, as you say, has to capitalize. Now the problem is he's got no escape plan. Nade goes out. Oh, nearly caught. Zealous, he had no gun drawn, and he goes so low on HP. But now if he goes around the corner, it's Draken who misses the shot. He should have had him dead to rights. And this is going to pull it back to 3v3. Alu's still out in no man's land because he's got no support at danger, and Rez is waiting for the cross. But this is going to allow a rotation to come over and give him a hand, and it's going to be Nasu that tries to do so. Better still, he just takes Rez. So you said this was sloppy, and you're right, but Alu somehow makes up for it.
He absolutely does. 3 kills for him. You cannot argue with those results at all. It's 3 versus 2. Still a chance for Epsilon to get back into this. Draken has got the bomb, but that's going to thwart it. Nasu's ready. AK-47 looking towards danger. Has found the bomb as well. Just going to be Disco Doppler now with 35 seconds remaining. And Alu hungry for more here. Potentially didn't have to do that, I have to say, but it doesn't matter. Either way, they win the round. And what I meant when I was doing sloppy is that bait and switch was there for Zart to stay alive. That's what it's designed around. He's got to take the attention and allow Alu to get the kills. He fully commits to the spray, gets taken down, but like you said, luckily Alu's stepping up there. And a huge play from him, absolutely massive with the M4. So versatile, one of those true AWPers that has hybrid potential as well to be a top rifler in his own right. Very impressive.
Smoke. One way, Molotov the other to cover off the new stairs. An additional flash over and a fast play coming in. There's AKs up. It's not just pistols, but they want to go. They want to surprise ENCE. And the bomb goes down on the site. Now that's interesting because that's the first attempt to plant. It's a lost body. They get a smoke on top of it, but it's going to allow the retake strength, not to mention the HP that's lost on both Doppler and Draken, and more so on Zealous. And now Disco, as he falls away, Draken gets one in return, but he's in a world of trouble right now, and Freddy basically has to close this himself. He's waiting in the arch undetected. Molotov's just going to extend far enough. Is it? Yes, 4 HP, not quite reaching the corner, but this is a huge problem. Big play coming in from Draken, though. This is interesting because even though he's low HP, they're so distracted and so committed onto the end of the platform, and Freddy, he's opened up one. He could do this. He could try and deny it. He's all of a sudden in a 1 versus 2. Nasu, they're trying to find him. They've got it lined up on the wrong side, and Nasu just pulls it off. The low HP clutch in a 4 versus 2. You give credit where credit is due, but ENCE still pulls it off.
A valiant attempt there by Epsilon, low HP, and then it's holding off absolutely everyone in the 4 versus 2, but it's Nasu holding his nerve, drops the smoke on top of the bomb, goes to the full defuse. The terrorists were aware it was going on as well. Full spray, did not land in the right direction, and 6-6 ENCE fighting back here on the CT half of Cobble. We said it before, it's a T-sided map, and they're putting up a hell of a fight here, but it comes down to one more player surviving. I'm not sure, did Nasu actually survive?
I think he went down immediately after he came out of the smoke.
So he actually loses the weapon as well. That's why it's difficult for them to buy back into this round. It's going to be Zart's just in the 5-7. They have got the AWP, but they're limited tremendously in terms of their utility. One diffuse kit between them. And it's 5 AKs for Epsilon. Looking to work drop down area now.
Freddy waiting for the flames to pave his way. Pardon the cement and the walkway toward long. Flash over, likely to go on this. It's not quite go far enough. In fact, Nasu has full vision. Decent trade by Disco in that sense, but still Nasu with the kill onto Rez will slow them down.
And Nasu got lucky to even get one out of that one, caught out of position, as he had the smoke in his hand as well, quickly adjusted himself, and that's the best he could have hoped for. 1 for 1. In this sort of scenario, I'd say it does favor the T's, and they're going to fully execute. It's up to Alu now. He has got that AWP, but he's actually towards middle. Looking like it will be some sort of B execute here. Terrorists with 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs. And it's up to Juho. He's going to be having first contact here as he holds up a platform.
Freddy B. Tap out toward that stairwell. Smoke so far. The second one's going to land. Molotov now to try and push them further back, but Juho hugging inside of the site, 1 for 1. He'll go down immediately, and Zealous already getting aggressive, but there's no smoke off. Great shot instead, but unfortunately his teammate goes down, bomb's dropped, and they gotta go back for it. 10 seconds, you say it. He's just gonna get to the site. Now he's got a plant in the open. There's no smoke on it. This should allow Alu to walk out and do exactly that. Round over.
Well, the 1-for-1 trade looked like it favored Epsilon, but as soon as that bomb went down, they had to go back and recover it. There was 5 seconds remaining when he grabbed the bomb, gets to the bomb site, and Alu just locked him down seconds before the plant comes in. And you can see as soon as they got that kill, they're retreating straight away, keep their guns alive, and the money still is in a pretty dire state for the CTs with their winning rounds. Epsilon now 4 spy from them. Round number 14, if they were to lose this, they're going into the final round with just pistols. Alu aggressively towards middle. I think he did spot a player as well, but flashed off, does fall back. It's looking like a B-sided attack though. It's just Freddy holding towards the top of middle. UMP's in the hands of the CTs as well. Nasu holding towards drop down. It's interesting to see him actually inside that area as well. A lot of teams actually decide to leave that area open and try and challenge towards the window area. Smoke's coming in as they execute. Once again, I think it's that pistol play we've seen so many times before. It's Nasu getting the first kill. He gets 2 with the UMP. And it's going to be a 4 versus 3 now, doing enough work to get this round in their contention, I feel.
Absolutely, in their contention. It's just Draken and Freddy remaining. Alu's gone hunting for him because he knows he's in behind this pillar somewhere, and it's ring around the rosy, and Alu's going to take down Draken. Either way, UMP lost, Freddy beat Deagle. We talked about ENCE pulling the economy back. Well, not only have they done that by getting 4 rounds now, if I'm not mistaken, in succession, but they've won out the half. Again, though, 8-7, Cobblestone.
5 in a row.
5 in a row. Okay, so full loss bonus now going the way of Epsilon, but again, 8-7 on Cobblestone, not necessarily the end of the road for Epsilon by any means.
We discussed it at this tier of CS, at tier 2 level. It's not quite as one-sided as it is in the top level of the scene. It's definitely a reason why CT teams can capitalize. And we'll see this double orb setup does pay off as Alu aggressive towards long A. Takes down Freddy B. It's going to be a fast play towards middle as well, and he hits a second as well. Why not? 5 on 3. They can fall back now. He doesn't need to go for any more. Yuho chiming in as well. It's going to be 9-6 here. Not really much the remaining terrorists can do. 5 versus 2. Rez and Disco Doppelin have got the bomb, but that's Alu completely shutting them down.
Completely shutting them down solo, too. It's not even like he had anyone to support flash him out, and he gets the second shot of danger. Epsilon now. AK Galil only. 1 smoke to work with in the hands of Rez. He will now get the bomb. Disco says, I'll man up, I'll go forward, I'll use my AK to try and find the openings, but 5 players to find, a minute to work with. Although I like the idea of drop because it can segregate the CTs. They do nothing to mask off his footstep when he lands, so it's all too obvious. Yuho turns his attention, Sunny shuffles out, and 9-6 ENCE. The 3rd time in succession that they've had the lead at halftime. Well, Henry, there is a cool app, and I think it's actually, we've seen the advertisements throughout the weekend. If you were at a BYOC, I think this would actually be the best set. There's obviously a giant BYOC here. This Palringo app, which is very cool. So not only can you use it at home and join into groups, catch, essentially make up gathers or matchmaking in CS, do whatever you want. Imagine being in a BYOC, you set up your computer, you're the only one playing WoW, because let's face it, who plays WoW anymore? So you're the only one playing WoW in your row, but there's a bunch of people in the room. You can go on this app, click the room, everyone can join in, and you can go ahead and raid together. I don't play that game, but I watched Shroud stream it once, because he never plays CS anymore.
What game would you play with me?
Portal 2.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. But yes, everyone's checking it out. It's actually really cool. I think in a BYOC, I could totally see the potential for it, but for sure, keep an eye on it. It's very, very cool. And well as CS, you can hang out with all your friends. I don't have any, so maybe I'll download it and try and make some. That said, into the second half, Pistol 9-6. Remember, Epsilon, they trailed by this same margin on Dust 2 last time, and yet it was them that had the first map point in regulation. Alu Tech 9 already toward danger, and they've pushed the CTs back considerably. And they're going to try and go for this split play down through drop. Bomb coming from that direction as well. Rez spots it coming, tries to fall back toward the balcony. They've got the information, but there's not much the players in B can do. Rez, fadeaway shot though. Zart goes down, and he's still going to line up on Nasu, but it's a turn shot. Catches Yuho instead, and Draken hasn't even needed to move in this position. Bomb drop temporarily, and the numbers start to stack up in Epsilon's favor. Firmly so as Alu, 1 versus 3. Tech 9 though, reasonable gun to have for this attempt.
As well. Has got the armor to work with. Bomb down. You can hear the crowd cheering him on. They want him to pick up this pistol. It means so much for ENCE if he can do it. Has plenty of time to work with. CD sticking together. They don't want to give anything away. They're happy for him to plant the bomb, and at least I know exactly where he is once that goes down. He will have the opportunity to do that as well, but he's biding his time for now. Here's the plant. and they can almost assume it's going to be an A-side attack here. They'll both be going towards connector. Can ALU step up to the plate?
Well, bomb gets planted. This range, though, Tech9, the USPs can actually still be favorable. They're spamming into stables. That's going to give away their positions. As he tries to read this, walks back in, yet to detect. They haven't played an open angle, so he actually can get fairly close again to this planted bomb. They're trying to get on it. They try and meat shield it. Zealous does enough. And the defuse is going to come in. Epsilon will pick up another second half pistol, and they can bring this potentially to 9-9. However, same thing as Dust 2. Early bomb plant. We saw them do it last time. ENCE can save to try and bring out early guns.
Or they could bring out early guns. They could do a second round. They could put out an AK. It could happen. These kind of moments, Matt, I would say it might be.
All right. Well done. You've read it.
I've read it.
You've broken the meta.
I would
You're, like,
say
happy.
when you get those 3 kills and it's really close like that, you've got, it's not a huge lead, but you want to send a message out and like just really make a huge play. This, I actually like this. I don't mind it at all. This is how you win big games.
Well, the UMP in the hands of Sunny. If it works, you're right. Gives them the lead back, steals the momentum away, steals the economy away. But the problem is that Yuho, 40 HP already. Tech9, they're going to try and get through the smokes aggressively. It's Rez way back toward the statue. Starts it off once more. His CT campaigns have been solid throughout the weekend. ALU with 2, but he's going to need 5 if he wants to make this work. Tech9 again over to the UMP as it's just in front of him. Gets the reload. He's down. He's able to dodge the damage just long enough and actually get Zealous bomb. Needs to be gathered, but instead it's a nade. That's going to bring this to 9-8.
Had they got the bomb down, it would have been the end of the world, but that's going to make things a little bit more difficult going into that first gun round. Will have to be a full eco going into this. ALU still has $3,400, so the AWP is going to be a possibility for him. No AKs on the third, of course, but Epsilon, they can breathe easy this round. I think it's just 4 Glocks go up against them, but we saw it today earlier on Cobble. 5 players going towards mid, just the Glocks in hand. It was actually a little bit scary. I think it came down to a 2-on-1 in the end. Pretty great incendiary chuck down. That's going to isolate them as well. And actually, does only get 1 for it. I thought he did clear up there.
Let's go. Good re-entrance to his own territory as he comes back up the top of the ramp. Drops the bomb once more. Zealous is going to fire down and trick Zarta. It's just Nasu remaining. 9-9. There we go. But how much does that early force hurt them without getting an additional bomb plant behind them? They're going to be fairly limited in what they can bring up. No AWP, that's certainly out of the picture. They could have gone glass cannon, but Yuho elects not to. And Nasu will grab the Galil just to bring up the extra utility, so maybe an execution-based play on that. And it's going to be bonus round right now for Epsilon.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got UMPs, Famises, 1M form, but they have got the utility player as well. ENCE committing 5 players towards the B-halls at the start of the round as well, so they could just be going straight in, looking for the headshots, reading the fact that these SMGs may be intact for the CTs, trying to take advantage of the range game. And it's Draki getting himself in a dangerous position, does manage to bunny hop out.
Remember, if they win this bonus round, is what we talked about economy needed on CT side. This is a massive increase for them. Nasu through smoke, down around. Draken's actually stood on the ledge. He stayed in such a good position inside of the smoke. Found by ALU in the end, but that's only 1 to the 2. Nasu brings it level, takes down Zealous. And now with the smokes in, the bomb can potentially get the plant. Rez can do nothing of it. He's got to sit back and wait for his teammates to rotate all the way over from the A site. And they've got 2 kits, so they can afford to allow that rotation, but it's going to take them down to effectively 35 seconds to find 3 kills. They've upgraded to at least an AK-47 on Rez inside a drop. And the interesting thing is, do they even go on this? Because if they want to keep it a bonus round, they could just sit out with the rifles they've upgraded to, but they certainly do go. That AK starts to pull them apart. Nasu goes down, as does Yuho. It's all on to ALU, and they split play. It's Rez with all 3. The AK they grab is what wins it for them.
Rez has been lights out this series. Another 3-man from him. Headshots as he coming onto the bomb side as well. Good flashbangs before they went for the retake there. Not panicking, not giving anything away. It was a really close position from ENCE. I'd prefer them to actually be playing further back, playing the timeout. They know it's going to be a difficult retake. Very close, up close and personal, and they could have been playing the upper platform, Chicken Coop, for example, behind the bomb site itself, but the first kill comes in from very decent flashbangs from Epsilon. As you said, that bonus round, we call it that because if you save your SMGs from the anti-ecos, you take it into that gun round. It's high risk, but it's high reward as well. If it works out for you, you have a ton of cash for your CT campaign, and they have taken the lead now. It's going to be 10-9, a force buy once again from ENCE. 2 Tech-9s, a UMP, and ALU with the AWP himself. Nasu has got the AK-47 for a bit of range. Another huge round here for ENCE. They need to make one of these force buys work in their favor.
Melo's gonna wait again. Nasu. His smoke landing. Oh, there was a decoy thrown, actually. I was wondering the bounce noise, but on top of the tree, they're just going to wait this out, slow this down again, and they've got to start picking up rounds. Guns back up, forced by Scrappy at that. And Epsilon continue to build the momentum. AWP tracking only the single one so far, and that's a read of the economy. Surely they would have brought up two if it was a full gun. Yuho, Alu, they've cleared out the long position. Bomb's going to wait at the bottom of danger with them, and split potential coming in. Flash well timed. Rez goes down. Sunny to start it off. Rotation then pulled from Freddy B as he leaves the A side. He's got to watch that. Now that isolates entirely, and on top of the platform itself, Disco, and he's actually going to give up the hut position. Oftentimes you'll try and see him bait them in toward him, get someone in balcony, but instead he's going to cover the cross when they get into position, and Freddy's won actually against Sunny in that drop position, so there's no split just yet. Bomb gets dropped. It's still safely to pick up if Alu can find the opening shot. Instead, it's going to be Yuho. 3 versus 3. And now the problem is, as they start to rotate over Freddy, that's a big kill to get, because as they start to rotate over, it could have been a late swing coming out from Nasu, but he's too late to the party. Bomb's down. He's not even going to get in a position to try and deny this defuse. He's just got to keep the AK. Absolutely.
It was a valiant attempt from ENCE and getting the bomb down there. With a 3-on-3 situation, but it's another solid retake from Epsilon. Seems so on point with those retakes. The money is starting to rack up now. I think we're at maximum loss bonus for the terrorists. So with the bomb going down as well, they definitely can get the AKs rolling out there. If we wanted to do the AWP though, that's going to be a different story. That's round number 21. And I feel like Matt, once again, we'll probably see all 30 rounds. It feels that sort of game is going to be coming in once again. Sunny just on UMP, 4 AK surrounding him. And Drake on the AWP this time. We'll see where he decides to go and face. Actually, he's going to go towards Chicken Coop. And this could be an interesting play. Alu's actually edging his way in there, looking for that first pick. Smoke goes down. Flash over. This is a chance to try and see what's available for him.
(11-9). Freddy still out toward long. Disco in danger, but he's definitely in danger. He's got 3 players pushing, jump through. Yuho hits the shot, but does the rotation from long come back to save him, or avenge him rather. But Freddy, he only manages to get the one. Zealous falling. Bombs dropped though, and Freddy actually can see that. So now, if he can get someone over, the problem is he's going to look at him. Look at the mini map. 4 players surrounding him. So he'll go down, bomb grab. But if he could have bought more time, if he could have been efficient, there might have been a rotation to head that direction. Instead, they're going to try and take the B tunnels, and smartly, that's going to be watched out from Nasu. Again, low HP. He can afford to sit around and wait to get that information.
That's a real solid play here from ENCE. Faking towards that beat out of the start. We saw Ali just dump everything he had. The smokes, the molotovs, flashes over as well. His teammates are ready to attack the A bomb site, and they do it very successfully indeed. It's a big round for ENCE to pick up. Need to keep some numbers alive here now. And Rez, he's got tons of catch. He's more than happy. He's had big numbers throughout this series. He doesn't manage to do anything with this one. Epsilon still have the lead, but ENCE closing the gap. 11-10 now. And it should still be fine for the Swedish side. AWP's definitely potential as well. That's going to be thrown over to Draken. Terrorists still need to be careful, yeah. 5 AKs, 1 M4. Sorry, 4 AKs and 1 M4. Round number 22 comes in. The winner of this game, of this map, will be facing Space Soldiers in the grand final. Something ENCE have been trying to do on home soil for a very long time.
They lost in the grand final at Assembly in the winter to LDLC White, which has now been split. Former team of Body and Devil Draken. He's going to put bodies on the ground. Zarda first to fall, up close, swing shot. Does actually hit the leg on Yuho, but instead he gets burned alive inside of the chicken coop. Instead, bomb will go down. Yuho pushing in. He's got the company control. He can sit. He's low HP, but they have to face him if they can get someone out to peek and counter that. But they don't have someone in position to trade on Freddy. But look at this play from Sunny. He doesn't have to go just yet. Wait for it to mask. Wait for it to be needed. And if there's a noise trigger that can disguise his fall, it'll be even better still. And Sunny's going to go right now. There's your trigger. That's his entrance. They're both still in a reasonable position to get caught out. He just needs to keep his teammate alive. Alu, he's gone low, 13 HP. Flank coming back through from long. Alu's buying a lot of time, Disco.
That's it.
He's definitely got to fade away from it. You're right. Now Alu's going to close it. 11-11, Henry.
And to making a wish to make it past this stage. It's been a hell of a series so far. Nuke, it looked like they're completely checked out of it after that crushing defeat, but fighting their way back. Triple overtime on Dust 2. And it's going to be Epsilon now. Their money finally diminished. ENCE on the favored side here. Tied up once again, these two teams. Nothing separating them. Nothing really invested by Epsilon this time. CZ's PT50s. Zealous not buying a single thing. He's just got that USP, so a perfect opportunity here. And to keep 5 players alive. Start getting some serious bankroll going. This round would do it, put them in a very comfortable position.
Sue. Gap in that smoke, just gonna watch it, make sure no one from Epsilon gets a pistol into a closer position.
You can see Sunny as well, just dissecting drop down, smoke off the left-hand side, mollying beneath himself as well. And Nasu gets the opening pick as well. Lovely stuff from him. Still plenty of time to play him as well. Don't need to overcommit. Wait to see the reaction, see if anyone pushes towards the top and middle. Stick together, use the range you've got. Bomb down, it should be a very simple procedure from now.
Alu. Nearly a lineup potential. Instead, though, he comes out worse for wear. Down to 19, Disco. He's going to take Yuho. They can't compensate for this. And the bomb's flung forward. So this stack of 2 members now and an SMG suddenly has control of a situation. And ENCE needs to redeem immediately. And Sunny's going to try and do so with a late play at drop. But again, Freddy finds another. Down to just the one, though. Draken, and he's only got 27 HP. Is it going to be the lead for ENCE? Or is he going to be able to pull this back? He's had 75, 30 seconds to work with. They're both slightly split up on the other side of the tree, but it's Sunny to win it out. And it's now the lead to ENCE.
It was a little bit messy. Like I said, if they could keep 5 players alive there, that would have been fantastic. But walking into that B side, they had Molotovs available as well. They just needed to stick together. They're very apprehensive about making the final move into the bomb site. Does cost them a few players, but money still starting to build. It's going to be Sunny with just under $9,000. Most of his teammates reinvesting there. They're a little bit weaker. ENCE have taken the lead, though, for the first time in a while. We'll see whether they can do anything this one. Or maybe just be a straight-up B-rusher, you know. All 5 players committed to this side of the map. It's going to be the orb on towards Disco Doppler. Not Draken this time. Smoked out for now with the terrorists. Looking to see what they can do. Lots of bullets being shot into the tunnel there. Here comes the smoke execute. This could be a fake. They still have an option to get out of this one if they want to.
Draken's playing this position very well. It's the second time he's gone to it. It's actually quite clever. It's not used commonly at all, but this time Zealous figures it out. His second kill on entry. Rez will follow it up, and it's down to Sunny and Alu. And he's going to go ahead and drop Alu. Zealous quite quickly. And it's a very good round from him. 4 on the counter entry. Draken might have been the focus on the way through, but his M4, now upgraded to an AK-47, brings us back level. Money, decent numbers still on at least Sunny at the start of the round, but he's going to have to drop out for 2 people, and that's going to limit them to basically a break point. Both teams on break point, to be fair.
That just goes to show you how every kill is so important in CSGO. They were up against a full eco there. Had they just kept those 5 players alive and used the time a little bit more efficiently, they would have had a much stronger buy going into this one, but ENCE are limited now. 4 AKs. Yuho is going to have the Tech 9ers. Look at the lack of utility as well. No grenades on Zert or Nasu. Taking the damage to the side of the round as well. Alu gets the first kill though. Had a fantastic series so far. Alu, AWP, AK-47, he doesn't care. He'll find you the opening frags if he has to.
Crossfire, drop play set. Doppler. Dual responsibility, the first of which is to flash his teammate in for a quick peek down the long corridor. To which they find no equalizing kill. Zarda still sitting on the Tech 9, 29 HP for him, the rest decent HP. 73 now for Alu, but Sunny's made it in toward that drop room. Oh, the Molotov, though, it's going to divide them. It's going to leave them in the open, and Zarda and Nasu, the 2 on the inside of it, both get caught. Bomb. It's in the hands of Epsilon, and Draken nearly hits a second shot onto Yuho, goes back up for another, but as he misses, they get closer. It's into the hands of Disco that they'll fall. As the bomb, it had to be recovered. It's down to the 1 versus 3, and it's 13 now for Epsilon, 12 only for ENCE.
ENCE trying to force their way in towards that B bomb site. I think we have a timeout coming in for ENCE. This will almost certainly be tactical. It's a difficult time for them. Epsilon getting in touch and distance now with series point once again. 13-12. ENCE. Money not great. They've got around 30, well, I should say 2,800 average across the board. Epsilon fully bought here. So the options for ENCE right now, I would say loss bonus next round is going to be at 3rd stage loss bonus. So this one pretty much has to be an eco. They have to just, can't really do the partial buy. Maybe a few PT50s, try and get the bomb down. That would work, but ultimately that's going to be the most viable option. If they were to force this one and lose it, it's pretty much game over at that point.
Map 3. They said they play Epsilon close. We've seen the distance in all 3 maps.
Yeah, and then some.
And we also said that this potentially was a final. Not to discount Space Soldiers at all, they've played excellent in this tournament, and they've got a long rest since their first semifinal this morning, where they went 2-0. Zantaras, again, was someone to watch. They'll be watching, they'll be waiting. What does ENCE come up with in this situation? Money is the issue.
It has to,
by far.
It has to be the eco. They got to get $2,400 next round. They can't just find it there. So PT50s have been purchased now.
Which is fair. They can equalize that and still have enough.
Yeah, that's all they really can do.
Sunny goes a little bit lower than the threshold, perhaps, but see if it pays off. See if they get a bomb plant on top of it. I mean, that should be primary objective in this round.
Absolutely. Then you're never going to win with a couple of PT50s. But if they can get a plant down, a couple of kills, it's definitely something to work with.
So Rez over toward B, put the attention on to A. Again, plant objective. Disco, he's got an M4, he's got a lineup, and there's only one flash. So choose where you're going to use it. Jump over, he's already going to fade away. Molotov, buy time, rotations. Sunny becomes the wild card in all of this, and Zealous finds him as he tried to get down drop, caught in the window at connector. It's Freddy, in front of the APC. Disco on top of the hut, through the very, very thin, stable walls, and this crossfire is establishing everything it needs to. Not a single player drops, not a bomb plant in sight, and ENCE, yes, they'll have money, but how much utility? Again, Sunny went below the threshold, 38.50 to start this off. He's limited to a UMP.
Alu glass cannon, he's all into the stage. One round will do it for Epsilon to achieve series points here. A lot of pressure on the terrorist camp right now. ENCE needs to find something here. It's not the worst buy, but something not the strongest. Alu does get armor in the end. There's no grenades. I guess that was the decision he had to make.
Two-man setup again toward long. Disco. And Freddy, Draken, using that smoke. Really does spot Alu jumping in the corner. But not quite. Importantly, not quite. But unfortunately now, that setup at long on the other side does work out to get 2. Bomb dropped. Alu, he's got to go back around the corner and try and get the shot. It is going to be dropped down again, so now 4 versus 2, and the bomb's still in the hands of the CTs. Remember, money the factor, UMP and AK-47. Sunny, he's going to try and just hold this back, and he does manage to get away from this surprisingly. 10 HP, the nade, does it get all the way through the doorway? Not quite. Zealous forced to retreat, bomb recovered. But again, time, 57 seconds, HP. If they can get the next pick, I won't rule it out.
It's looking very unlikely right now, Matt. 2 players remaining. They have got the bomb, but look how isolated they are. CTs know exactly where they are, and they've got smokes remaining as well. They can lock off outside of the area once again. 40 seconds remain. Sunny on such low HP as well. Difficult to find a thought where they can actually do anything with this situation. Time ticking away as well, 25 seconds. Has to come down to Nasu. He's got the face first. There's an AWP here. Zelos, he can just get a one and done position. That's all he needs. That's it. Gets the bomb as well. Round over.
Yeah, 15 seconds. Sunny, AK-47, he'll go down. It's map series point for Epsilon, and ENCE again back against the wall. Have to try and fight for overtime. Same as the first map on Nuke. Or rather, excuse me, on Dust. Nuke, same thing, I guess, but they didn't quite get that far. So UMP for Sunny again, and it's going to be the same for Nasu. The rest, Tech 9s. Single op setup on Draken. They haven't really gone to the double op quite as much as we would have expected Epsilon to do so on this map, but quick play toward B, 2 holding back in the tunnels. They'll just see if they can find an early pick, but Draken's going to do the same, and through the edge of the smoke, he gets Sunny down. It's a 1-man advantage for Epsilon to start. Flashes through, and he's pushed back slightly from the stairs, but Freddy, he'll take the fight into his own hands. Alu drops. It's down to a 5 versus 3. Epsilon coming extremely close to closing this game, as once again they've rallied back from a deficit at halftime. Down over the drop. They look to go. Rez the one to wait. He's been so efficient, so effective on CT sides. This time with an AK-47 in his hands. Smoke's deployed to at least cover off the connection point. He's going to have the help of Zelos to contain both T players, and it's going to have to be a late lurk from Zart that's going to have to be perfect as well, as he's being watched at the bottom of middle. A minute to work with, and they're boosting back up, which immediately means one player's left alone and left to fend for himself.
5 versus 3, 1 minute remains. It's looking more and more unlikely that ENCE can do this. It's going to take an absolute miracle now. Not a single rifle to play with, just pistols and that UMP. Nasu rotates back towards middle, bomb in hand. With the orbs and the rifles waiting for them. I'm not sure they can do anything with this. This is slowly falling apart for ENCE.
2 to go for Epsilon as Yuho gets taken down. Zart gets in the open. He's covered off with at least a Molotov and a smoke, but now it's a 1 versus 5, and Disco Doppelin sprays both. Epsilon will move through to the finals. It'll be Sweden and Turkey and ENCE. This time they don't make it all the way through to their objective. But they played well. Issues closing a few certain rounds, but it was a back-and-forth series, and momentum was not in their favor a lot of times.
Absolutely. It was very evenly matched, you have to say, throughout every single game and every single map we saw. ENCE potentially should have closed that out on Nuke. They should have taken that map and Dust. It could have been a 2-0. There's so many different small nuances that separated these teams. Cobble incredibly close once again, but it's Epsilon coming out on top. Fantastic retake from the CT side. They actually lost the first half as well. It's a really strong setup there. The double orb setup, fantastic work, working out for them very well. And what can you say? It's Epsilon coming out on top. ENCE got to be disappointed at home soil, looking to beat their grand final placing last time and win the tournament. They start crashing out on the semis.
When's the breakthrough going to come? But either way, Epsilon continuing good form. Again, we mentioned it starting off essentially as cringe gods in the first minor and developed into a young team that's continuing to, I think, learn, expand, and grow. I mean, they win the PGL, no association with PGL, Romania Pro Gamers League in China. Do manage to take down Team X, which is XSK. They beat EFRAG, MK now as they're known, with the former EFRAG, the Bulgarian team. 2 decent teams that we've always known as upset teams in the sort of, I guess, back end of the top 20, top 25 teams. Yep. At times, EFRAG was up, I think, ranked 12th last year at the highest they ever had. So they've made steps, leaps and bounds forward, and I think Space Soldiers, that's a perfect test for them.
It's been a great grand final. It's going to be really good. Space Soldiers look in great form right now. Epsilon, high off that victory, coming back from the deficits. It's going to be a very exciting final coming up. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, we'll go over to the analysts. It's disappointing, I know, for the Finns, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Epsilon playing extremely well, and we will see them versus Space Soldiers.
Well, that's what can happen, right? I mean, what a game once again. It was a back and forth. These guys just make it super entertaining, has to be said. I mean, first half, you had ENCE winning all the clutches. Second half, it went the opposite side. Yeah,
I mean, it was another very close game between these two teams. Like we said, that's how all the series they played against the past couple months have been. For ENCE, it's unfortunate that the one they lost happened to be the most important one out of all the 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, they simply got outplayed. There's little else to be said about it.
Well, actually, we're going to take it to the winner interview first, and then we will continue after that. So take it away, Snap.
Thank you, Nottingham boys. Congratulations, Freddie and Epsilon.
Thank you very much.
Do you mind a quiet comeback on Nuke? What happened over there?
We just never gave up. We just played to get the momentum if we were going to lose for the next map, and it just kept going, and we won the map.
It was a tight battle on Dust too as well. Triple overtime.
Yeah, it was very close. We had a very hard time shutting them down at CT. They played very good, and yeah, they won the map at the end.
And then Cobble, obviously, battle all over again.
Yeah, Cobble was tight as well, and in the end we managed to just lock down a CT. We played kind of sketchy ST, but yeah, we managed to win, and they played very good.
Going against Space Soldiers, what do you know about those guys?
I know they shoot very hard. We have met them before, close games as well, overtimes, but we feel confident that we can beat them.
Okay, anything you want to tell your fans watching the streams?
Thank you for watching, thank you for supporting us, and thank you, Finnish crowd.
Thank you. Congratulations, Epsilon Esports, for second finalist. Natsu and the boys, it's all yours again.
There we have it. Congratulations to Epsilon, obviously. I mean, they did play, they were the better team, and they're going to be heading up towards, well, playing against Space Soldiers later on. But let's wrap this up real quick here. Let's give some final thoughts on this matchup.
Well, overall, a very good best of three, honestly, from both teams. Again, I think the fact that ENCE comes off with slow starts in each and every map is a detriment to them, like a very big one as well. Because you can see how well they do when they actually get structured to the play and once they actually figure out that the game is live. But you know, in the end, it doesn't really help out if you lose pretty much every pistol round in every game, because you can't look at it as simple as, you know, if you divide, you know, a best of three up into 3 games, it's just best of ones. And we always talk about how hard it is to win a best of one if you lose both pistols. Same absolutely applies for a best of 3. It's just that you get more chances to kind of make up for your previous mistakes. But in this case, ENCE never really managed to do that, and it came back to bite them in the end, because you could see how many weapon rounds they were able to get for the better part of the game.
I thought the problem on the second half of Cobble was the 2 after plants in B that ENCE lost. There were 3v3s, I think, both, where they actually had good positions too for the retake. And I think Res, your guy, got a couple kills, really impressive kills there very quickly. And those were the rounds where, had ENCE won them, I think Epsilon would have had to rotate more players towards B, and then that would have opened up A. But then as a result of them actually winning those close rounds, they could basically just sustain their 2-3 setup. And that's what allowed them to sort of lock down B afterwards. Obviously, there were some good plays. Zealous had a round where he got 3 kills by the fountain, where they were just kind of dumbfounded how he wasn't blind. Some big individual plays, but overall, I mean, they just played well. I think it's going to be a great final.
Yeah. This is becoming a bit of I think, a classic matchup now for, in my opinion at least, for both teams. I mean, these matches have been online recently very close, and this was really close, and it was just, you know, a matter of so many small things that made a difference. And well, that's the name of the game. Counter-Strike is about the 2-on-2s, the 3-on-3s, the situations like that, where the smallest difference, you know, make a big impact on the scoreboard. And it was just Epsilon that did the better job at that. That's all that can be said, really, I guess. Well, I guess we're going to be ending this one here, and so that all you know, the grand finals are going to be happening at 8 p.m. local time. That's going to be 7 Central European time. And don't forget to check out the Pelringo app, where you can chat about these games. Some of us are there also chatting. So without further ado, we'll see you later.